So I'm going to be presenting my book samples, and I guess we'll just start with the first one we did. So this was our snake book, and I made mine ways to say hello. So I looked up a bunch of different ways to say hello in different languages, and it just kind of all, unfolds to the different languages and tells you the word and which country that specific word is from, or what language, So I thought that was a fun thing to do with a snake book because it's just so bright and big. And I think a good use for that in the classroom would be, I think like a science thing would be cool with that. Like doing different animals, insects, maybe some type of memorization things for just whatever. I think science is this though, because it's just so fun and it's just very bright and you can make it colorful. So I think drawing pictures of animals or like a way to remember animals or different things that they need, or even like the food chain, like it's a good way to introduce like direction and flow, and I think so the food chain and science stuff would be good for that. Let's see. The second book is the explosion book, and I just took like calendar pages and made this with the cardboard as my thing, so it just explodes. So I think a good one for that, since it's not very many pages, and if you do very many pages it'd be hard, would be to just like a short story or like a poem book would be good for that. You just have your words and you can draw little pictures. I think it looks really cool with the prints and stuff. I think that was a good idea, but I think something like poems, you could do it for English class. I think that would be a good way, or you could even do short stories, or you could do, there's lots of things you can do with all these books, but I just think since it doesn't have very many pages, and you could do a lot of pages, but it would get a lot, but just like a short story or something along those lines. So this is my pop-up book. I did mine about emotions, and I said, we all have emotions. Sometimes we're angry, sometimes we're happy. And I said, sometimes we're sad. We all have emotions. And this is my little cover. I have a magazine for the back, or part of a calendar for the back. And I just think this is pretty cute. And I remember doing a project like this when I was in 5th grade, and we did short stories we wrote. So I think it would also be a great way to animate short stories. I think you could do a lot with it as well. I think either short stories or something that the kids I think it really allows them to be creative. And I think poems or short stories would be a good one for that. Or you could do haikus like you did for your book. I think anything along the English realm is really easy to tie into art. So then a book for my students is my little, the cover. I did magazine pages for the cover, but then I saw the hard book copy that was in the example, and I wanted something like that, so I used cardboard. And I said a book for my students, and I said they're kind. This is my accordion book: smart, caring, hardworking, helpful, successful, and amazing. So I said about them, like adjectives to describe my students. And I think it's a good way for students to be really creative. I think the book for the mouse is cool. I think they could use it for anything that they wanted to. I think this could be a good like memorization tool. I think this could be a good science one. I think one idea I thought of before I did this one was maybe doing like the division of a cell. You could start with like the cell together, the cell apart. I think it would be a really good way because it's just small enough to do stuff like that. You could show a cell dividing, the different division steps. I think another good one could be for littler kids is doing like how a tree grows. Like, it starts with a seed, goes to a sapling, like you need sun, water. I think this would be a good little science book. And so my last one that I have to show is my stitched book. Let's see the stitch, and I just did colors, and I showed different shapes, colors in it. I think a good one for this one could be, I think, like when kids are learning math things, I think this could be good for like just a little way to carry, like, there's like fact tables that I'm learning now in another class of like 1 times 10 and me, like show your fingers to me. I think doing different fact tables for addition and multiplication, because it's tiny, and I think it would just be good for something like that for kids to just be able to use. Not a lot of people put math with art, and I think that would be a good use for a book like this, is like putting math facts together. Or like even little kids could draw like pictures of like, if you have 4 apples and you put 2 more, how many do you have? And just drawing out, I think, is a good conceptual way of kids to realize that. So again, here's my stitch book, here's the accordion book, here is my pop-up book, here's my explosion book, and here is my snake book. So yeah, thank you.